Hey guys, Eric Sachetto, leadership expert and author of the 8 Mandates of Personal Leadership, the student guide to take charge of your life, lead yourself, and make a positive difference in the world. Just back from my morning 5-mile run, all fired up on a Monday morning, the first amazing day up here in the Northeast in Boston, over 70 degrees at 10 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't get much better than that. So I wanted to share a video today where I give some inspiration and some tips and stuff, but I wanted to share a cool, fun story, just being the first day of spring and all that. So I'm going to share my infamous dog story from when I was running my first Cutco Vector office. If anyone watching isn't familiar with the company, it's a company that markets a household product, and most of the sales reps are college students looking to develop some skills, put some things on their resume, and they go through an interview process, get hired, and get to go out and market the product. So I got selected to run my own office for the summer, and I was in Watertown, Massachusetts. And it's like a summer internship, but you're working really hard. You're working 6-7 days a week, all day long. You're engrossed in kind of running a business for 3 or 4 months. So one particular day, it was a Monday, and for some reason I just didn't grab enough stuff when I left the house. So I had water, but all I got was a peanut butter sandwich. I think that's all I had all day, which is a bad idea on a Monday in a Vector Cutco office, because I had a key staff meeting, which is like a leadership meeting. I had to pay my receptionist. I had to get the orders out for the week. I had 2 interviews. It was just a crazy day in the middle of the summer, and I sort of messed up on that front. But the point of my story is it was about 5 p.m. in the afternoon on Monday, and I was starving. All I'd have was water all day. And I finally got a break. I had about an hour and a half before my final group of students came in to interview in the late afternoon. So I walked into my private office and I said, I will not open the door. No matter who comes to the door, I'm not opening the door until this entire sandwich is in my stomach. I kid you not. I sit down at my desk, I open my mouth to bite this sandwich, and knock, knock, knock at the door. I'm like, all right, who is it? And my head receptionist that summer knocks on the door, and I say, all right, come in. And I'm thinking, well, okay, well, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can eat the sandwich, but then I also can talk to her, and it'll be fine. I won't get distracted. So she comes in, she sits down, and as soon as she starts to talk, all of a sudden I hear all this pitter-patter in the hallway. And I'm like, what is that? Still haven't taken a bite of the sandwich. So then I go, can you check and see what that is? So she walks to the end of the office, she opens the door, and she jumps back and she screams. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? In comes a big dog. Like, I like dogs, but I'm not a big dog person, so I don't know. It was just a big dog. And all of a sudden, not only is this dog in my private office, but my receptionist comes running towards me, comes around, and grabs a hold of my arm. And I'm like, are you afraid of dogs? She's like, I hate dogs, which is kind of funny, and the reason it's funny is because I like dogs as long as I'm familiar with the dogs. Random dogs I'm not a huge fan of, because I don't know how they act, how they behave. So here I am, the person who's not a huge fan of dogs that I don't know, and I've got my receptionist holding onto my arm for dear life. So I'm still standing there, and I'm still holding my sandwich, and the dog comes towards me, gets up on the chair across the desk, gets on the desk, takes the sandwich right out of my hand, and eats the entire sandwich on my desk. Oh my God, that's like, you couldn't make that stuff up. It was just the craziest day ever. So Doug eats my sandwich, then I'm chasing the dog around my private office. Then I finally get the dog out of my private office, I'm chasing it up and down the hallway, finally get it out into the hallway in the building. Now I'm chasing it up and down the stairs. And just to finish that part of the story, all of a sudden an applicant shows up about 45 minutes early to an interview, and I'm chasing this dog up and down the stairs, and he's just looking around like, what's going on? He goes, do you know where a Mr. Sachetto is? And I'm like, oh, that's me. As I keep running down the stairs and chasing after this dog, and this kid who, knows about the pay and a few things about the job, but doesn't know specifically what it is. He's coming to interview with a guy who's chasing a stray dog up and down the stairs. So it's pretty crazy. The dog finally went away. I ran the interview, and went home. I was a little negative at the end of the night just because I was so hungry. But the point of that story is some of the challenges that we have. Of course, that one was my fault, not preparing for the day. But even when it happened the way it did, it ends up being a story where I remember it. It's funny. It's one of the great experiences that I had that summer. And if you start to look at, as you're pursuing your goals, the funny things that happen. It's funny as a author and keynote speaker and motivational speaker at colleges, those stories are the fun stories that I get to share. So although in the moment they were, that was a little negative because they messed a few things up, like those are the stories that are in my book. Those are the stories that I get to share on stage to engage the audience. So without those challenges, without those crazy things that happen that later I could look back and laugh at, then I wouldn't have been having any fun. I wouldn't be having as much fun as I possibly could. I wouldn't have content for my book and my speeches and all that stuff. So if I'm gonna look back at some of those things and laugh at them later, why not laugh while it's still there? And that's one of the things I've learned over the last few years is as the challenges come up, the crazy things that happen, why not look at it as a cool story right in the moment instead of waiting for a year or 2 or 5 years? And I'm always looking for new material to write about in my next book or talk about or just have a fun conversation. I told that story to my brother. He fell on the ground and couldn't stop laughing. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. So I hope that helps you, just the inspiration of embracing challenges, not only just because you're going to work hard and overcome them because you have a goal in mind, but because those are the stories that you get to share with your friends when you're hanging out. Those are the stories you get to share if you ever decide to put, your life stories on paper or give a speech or, do videos like this. So something to really, really keep in mind. So hope you enjoy that story. I want to wrap up this video. I'm going to grab a copy of my book here, The 8 Mandates of Personal Leadership. If you haven't got a chance to get this and you really would like to, again, I've traveled all over the world learning everything I can about personal development and leadership. And if you want to know what are the 8 things that it takes to take charge of your life, lead yourself, make a positive difference in the world, just the 8. You do these 8, everything else will take care of itself. So if you want to know what those are and how to take those to the next level, I have an opportunity for you. I'm running a campaign right now, so if you go and follow the link below this video and you go to that link and you decide to get one of my books, I will sign a copy of it and send it directly to your house. And because you did that, I'll also send a copy to a community college across the nation and offer them an opportunity to use my book in part of their leadership programs or give a keynote speech. So not only will you be able to impact yourself and be a personal leader because you're taking the initiative to read the book and learn the material, you're actually giving an entire school the opportunity to do the same. So if you'd like to do that, click the link below. I know this book will be valuable to you, and I hope those of you who have worked at Cutco and Vector either in the past or currently do thought that story was very interesting, as of course the dog lovers as well. But go out there, live the movie, have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.